If I told you that one simple drink could trigger a measurable increase in blood flow in under 10 minutes, would you believe me? Not a pill, not a supplement stack, not some internet myth. I'm talking about a scientifically explainable response in your own body, one that begins with a subtle warmth in your upper abdomen and travels downward as circulation improves and nitric oxide levels rise. And no, this is not placebo. This is physiology. Here's the truth most men are never told. Erectile performance is not just about desire. It's about vascular health, nerve signaling, and endothelial function. When those systems are optimized, the response follows naturally. When they're compromised, problems begin, often years before other health symptoms appear. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple, research-backed combination that supports blood vessel dilation, enhances nitric oxide production, and stimulates neural activation, using ingredients that are likely already in your kitchen. But before we begin, I want to ask you something important. If you've ever noticed a change in your performance, even a small one, when did it start? Was it stress, age, lifestyle, or did it seem to happen without warning? I want you to comment below with just one word: strong. If you feel confident in your performance. Improve. If you believe there's room to optimize. No explanations needed, just one word. Because what most men don't realize is this: the moment you start paying attention to your vascular health is the moment you take control of your future performance. Let's get into the science. What I am about to explain to you is not a miracle cure, nor is it a gimmick. It is a physiologically grounded approach that supports one of the most fundamental mechanisms behind a healthy erection: blood flow and nerve signaling. Many men report that within 10 minutes of drinking this preparation, they feel a noticeable warmth beginning in the upper abdomen and gradually moving downward toward the pelvic region. That sensation is not imaginary, and it is not merely placebo. When certain compounds in this drink enter your system, they enhance circulation and stimulate neural pathways. Erection is, at its core, a vascular and neurological event. When blood flow improves and nerve communication becomes more efficient, erectile function improves. My name is Dr. Samra. In my clinical practice, I work extensively with men experiencing erectile dysfunction, pelvic floor disorders, and age-related changes in sexual performance. My objective is never simply to hand out a recipe. My goal is to help you understand the biological reasoning behind what works so that you can make informed, long-term decisions about your health. Before we proceed, I need to emphasize an important precaution. This preparation is not suitable for everyone. If you have active gastric ulcers, severe gastritis, significant reflux disease, duodenal ulcers, or gout, you should avoid this drink or consult your physician before trying it. For most otherwise healthy men, however, it is generally well tolerated when consumed in moderation and adjusted to personal sensitivity. Now let us discuss the science. The first ingredient is pure, unsweetened cocoa powder. Not processed dessert chocolate, but real cocoa rich in flavonoids. Cocoa contains bioactive compounds, particularly flavanols such as epicatechin, which have been extensively studied for their cardiovascular benefits. Research consistently demonstrates that cocoa flavanols support endothelial function. The endothelium is the inner lining of your blood vessels. When this lining is healthy, it produces adequate amounts of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a small signaling molecule, but its role in erectile physiology is enormous. Without sufficient nitric oxide, an erection cannot occur. Nitric oxide signals the smooth muscle in penile arteries and the corpora cavernosa to relax. When this relaxation occurs, blood flows in rapidly, the spongy tissue fills, pressure builds, and the outer tunica stretches, creating firmness. This is the same pathway targeted by common prescription medications for erectile dysfunction. Cocoa supports this pathway naturally by enhancing nitric oxide bioavailability. In addition, cocoa acts as a vascular protector. Its antioxidant properties reduce oxidative stress, which otherwise damages blood vessels and impairs nitric oxide production. Over time, oxidative damage contributes to endothelial dysfunction, a leading cause of erectile difficulties. By reducing free radical damage, cocoa supports the integrity and elasticity of arteries and veins. There's also emerging evidence that cocoa may influence neural function. Flavanols appear to improve cerebral and peripheral circulation, potentially enhancing nerve responsiveness. Since erections depend not only on blood flow, but also on precise nerve signaling from the brain to the pelvic region, improved neural conductivity may contribute to faster and more reliable arousal responses. The second ingredient is cayenne pepper, which contains capsaicin. Capsaicin activates specific receptors known as TRPV1 receptors. These receptors are often referred to as pain receptors, but their activation does much more than create a burning sensation. When capsaicin stimulates these receptors, it triggers a cascade of neurochemical responses. The body releases neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, which are associated with alertness, mood elevation, and arousal. Capsaicin also promotes circulation by causing mild vasodilation and increasing blood flow to peripheral tissues. When cocoa and cayenne are combined, their effects complement one another. Cocoa enhances nitric oxide production and protects vascular health. Cayenne stimulates circulation and neural activation. Many men describe feeling warmth beginning around the upper abdomen near the solar plexus region. This area houses significant nerve networks and vascular structures. As circulation increases and blood vessels dilate, improved microcirculation extends downward toward the pelvic floor. The sensation of spreading warmth often reflects this increase in blood flow and neural activity. Preparation matters more than most people realize. Begin with approximately 200 milliliters of water. Add 2 full teaspoons of pure, unsweetened cocoa powder. Then add a very small pinch of cayenne pepper. More is not better. Capsaicin is potent, and excessive amounts may irritate the gastrointestinal lining or cause unnecessary discomfort. You may add a small amount of natural vanilla for flavor if desired. Mix the cocoa and cayenne thoroughly into the water. Heat the mixture gently while stirring continuously to ensure proper dissolution. Bring it just to a gentle boil, then remove it from the heat. This next step is crucial. Allow the liquid to cool to approximately 50 degrees Celsius before adding honey. Honey contains enzymes and bioactive compounds that degrade at higher temperatures. If you add honey to boiling liquid, you significantly reduce its beneficial properties. Once the mixture has cooled sufficiently, add honey to taste and stir well. Begin with minimal cayenne and adjust gradually based on your tolerance. Individual sensitivity varies considerably. It is important to understand that erectile health does not exist in isolation. It is a reflection of vascular integrity, metabolic health, hormonal balance, nerve function, and overall cardiovascular status. In fact, erectile dysfunction is often an early indicator of systemic vascular disease. When you support endothelial function and circulation, you are not only supporting sexual performance, but also your heart and long-term health. As men age, nitric oxide production naturally declines, oxidative stress increases, and blood vessels lose elasticity. This is why lifestyle, nutrition, physical activity, sleep quality, and stress management all play central roles in preserving sexual function. This drink is not a substitute for medical evaluation if you are experiencing persistent erectile difficulties. However, as part of a broader strategy focused on cardiovascular and metabolic health, it can serve as a supportive tool grounded in physiology. Take your health seriously. Understand the mechanisms, not just the promises. When you work with your body's natural systems rather than against them, the results become more predictable and sustainable. I look forward to guiding you further in the next discussion.